A Halfling Sonder, Sven's Story, by Illyria Valischin. While walking back to Kerp's shack, Sven takes his time. The few halflings he passes call out their hellos as he walks by. Most of them are the men and young boys, who are finishing up and getting prepared for the next day's work. Some yelling can even be heard from the tradesmen to their apprentices, making the young ones jump. Most of them are eager to get the job done and have that pat on the back. This brings a smile to Sven, as he remembers doing the same for his father in the shipping yard. Always eager to please. Always wanting to show he was smart and fast, like his father. A few more late afternoon hellos are said as Sven approaches Kerp's shack. A brief look around doesn't show any sign of a struggle or what might have happened last eve. The only disturbance to the yard is a few blades of grass blowing in the soft sea breeze. Standing there for what feels like too long, Sven adjusts his shoulders and walks up to the door and opens it. Stepping inside, he looks around the dimly lit room, expecting to see some sort of sign of the scuffle that had happened the previous night. The place is completely clean, as if someone had come through and cleaned it, making it ready for visitors. The dust from a month's absence can no longer be seen. The scent of stale air was gone. The only thing that Sven could find, or that more accurately could not, was the pouch of money. Not even a single trace of it. This takes Sven a moment to grasp. How could it be so well cleaned in such a short amount of time? Without anyone noticing a presence, he goes about making sure he hasn't missed a thing by checking all the cabinets again, looking behind the seating, even going as far as to check under the bed, which had also been cleaned. This was truly unnatural for his friend, and even a bit more unnerving for Sven himself. Unable to find anything new on the inside, Sven starts to wonder about the outside. Maybe there was something outside that was making everyone less worried about Kerp. Or there might be a clue as to where Kerp had run off to. Stepping out into the late afternoon sun, everything looks about the same. The grass is a bit taller, and the other bits of the smallish yard are in its normal unkept qualities. He begins to search around the sides of the house, paying close attention to the walls and windows, looking for anything that could have notified him of someone entering the little shack. Reaching the back and where the village comes to an end, he finds nothing but some very tall weeds. They could be considered sunflowers for how tall they had grown. With this, Sven runs a hand through his hair, wondering what it could all mean. A clean house, the unkempt yard, and the outskirts of town a normal, forgotten mess. It was all too normal. He lets out a little sigh, taking one more look at the back of the shack, not really giving it much thought until a little glimmer of something near the back wall catches his eye. The wind gives a soft gust, moving the weeds, allowing the glimmer to become clearer, then disappear. With each little burst of wind it shows, but is quickly hidden as the wind slows down. Moving closer, he pulls out his pocket knife and begins to cut away the weeds. As he clears the weeds, Sven finds a metal plaque that has been hammered into the back wall. In it is a very faint image with two people walking upside down and under a rainbow. Although as he peers closer at it, he can tell that the image is very faded, almost too faint to see. Reaching out with his knife, Sven begins to dig it out of the wall, taking extra care so as not to damage the metal or set off any traps. It takes quite a bit of effort from him digging at the salt water-soaked wood, as his hands start to tremble from fatigue and only adding to the strain in his arms. Finally, when he can really bear no more of the pain, the plaque falls to the ground, just barely missing his outstretched hand. Leaning over, he picks up the plaque and begins to take an even closer look, noticing that the image fades completely from view when the sunlight is directly upon it. Then reappearing as he turns it away from the light, a small frown crosses Sven's face as he places the item and the knife into his pack. Not really knowing what to make of it, he turns from the building, now looking for any signs of someone coming or going. At first there doesn't seem to be anything, until he gets closer to the seaside of the shack. A small track is leaving. With this small clue, Sven begins to follow the tracks with caution, the trail taking him in a zigzag pattern, from one building to the next, then down the sandy path of the beach to the side of the harbor. a place where others like to have a midday picnic or do a quiet morning of fishing. The trail stays close to the solid land of the beach, along the tree and rock line, then suddenly stops at a point behind two rocks. Looking about, Sven can now only barely see the town, and that there is a strange, floating object out in the cove. Thank you for listening to my story. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.